founder of the child-minding agency Tiney. Brett, eye-catching proposal this, the free childcare of 30 hours a week for working parents that exists at the moment in England for parents of 3- and 4-year-olds is to be expanded to cover 1- and 2-year-olds. Is it deliverable?
Well, first of all, I mean, it's hugely exciting, and I'm a father of 3 children, and I think any parent out there will be really excited to hear that the government's taking childcare very seriously, early years very seriously. It's really important to so many parents out there and children to get a great early years education. So that's really positive to see this really long overlooked area of public life really get a focus from the government and from the opposition today, and that's fantastic. I think for it to be deliverable, the next step is really to ensure that there's a great supply of early years educators out there. And that's the difficult part because, currently there's a real shortage, for instance, of childminders, which the Chancellor mentioned today. Childminders, we know, are really great, flexible early years educators who, do great work and follow an early years curriculum and are doing a great job, but the numbers have been dropping. So I think the next step for the government is to really talk through how they'll grow the number of childminders, how they'll ensure there are more nursery spaces, and how they'll ensure there's the supply of early years educators out there to meet the demand of parents.
They're saying that there will be around £4 billion for this scheme, which will come in stages. So by 2027 to 28, the government will provide £4 billion. Does that sound enough to you? Because it has been criticised as being far lower than the amount that some estimators needed.
I mean, it's hard to know the exact amount. I think there's 2 problems. Up to now, the early years entitlement, which is the 15 and the 30 free hours that parents of young children get, isn't enough. So I know our childminders, for instance, usually have to subsidize the government-funded hours with higher paid hours from other children or from other parents. So it's not enough for early years educators to survive. Now, I understand today that they've agreed to raise those rates. I haven't looked at the details yet, but we would hope that that is up to market rates. Otherwise, early years educators will suffer. I think the other part is there really needs to be a concerted effort to grow demand, especially supply, especially of childminders. And they mentioned childminder agencies today, which is great, but the more they can work with childminder agencies to grow the number of childminders out there and turn around the decrease over the last few years, I think that's also really important.
There's one more move that they are wanting to bring in, which is to change the ratio of staff to child and move it from 1 carer for every 4 children to 1 to 5, and that would align England with Scotland. Does that concern you?
I mean, I think it should be an option for the early years educators. I think probably for our childminders, most of them are very happy with the current ratio and probably wouldn't want to take extra children, but there's certainly some who would want to take maybe an extra child, and if they can do that safely and in the best interest of the children, then, I think that's really up to the childminder.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. That's Brett Wigdals there from the agency Tiney's.
Thank you.